Back to another edition of NXT Out of 10 right here on the Wrestle Debate. NXT kind of in a transition phase at the moment, waiting until we get to New Year's Eve. Ooh, scary. But we've still got some decent matches today, and none bigger than Kyle O'Reilly versus Pete Dunne later. But we're starting off with Kushida and Leon Ruff versus Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory, who are now called The Way. Theory started things off with a time splitter, allowing him to get on top against Kushida before Ruff tagged in and he avoided a splash in the corner. A distraction from Johnny Gargano allowed Theory to get back on top. Gargano eventually tagged in. He was on top for a little bit before Kushida locked in a hoverboard lock, but he managed to get out. Theory then rocked Ruff with a kick out of nowhere following a dodgy tag, and that was enough to get them the win. And I'm going to give this a 6.5 out of 10. Really good start to NXT, enjoyed the match, and good for the new stable to get a win. Blackheart says she was going to destroy Indy Hartwell later today before Tommaso Ciampa took on some jobber called Tyler Rust. Tyler Rust scrolled early, but he did get a bit of offense in, to my surprise. Ciampa eventually got on top though, and locked in Willow's bell to seal a pretty comfortable win. But I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. To be honest, I'm really not feeling much with Ciampa at the moment. I can only hope his character improves. But anyway, next up, it was time for, without doubt, one of the best matches of the night before a Karrion Kross vignette aired. Kyle O'Reilly versus Pete Dunne. Dunne and O'Reilly completely ignored the chaos out of the ring, and it was just a proper fight from the beginning. Had a bit of a stalemate at first, but then Dunne threw the first real offense of the match. Back after the break, a German suplex planted O'Reilly, and Dunne was back on top. Both men battled on the top rope before Kyle O'Reilly spied a German failed as Dunne landed on his feet, and that allowed Dunne to get on top. Dunne was rocked then by a jumping knee before O'Reilly countered into a suplex off the apron, with Dunne left hanging. A diving knee from O'Reilly smashed his face into the mat. 1, 2, 3. O'Reilly v Balor 2 at New Year's Evil. Yes please. 7.5 out of 10. This was absolutely class. Next up on NXT, we got Indy Hartwell versus Shotzi Blackheart before we got another one of those torture vignettes from Xia Li. Nothing really new to the pair. Shotzi Blackheart rushed Indy Hartwell straight away, and a stiff striking kick combo sent Hartwell to the corner. LeRae tried to distract Blackheart on the referee, but the ref turned his back, allowing Hartwell to crack Blackheart with the Raise trophy, and after that the beatdown commenced. I was going to give this a 6.25 out of 10. Nothing much to really write home about this segment. It was okay, I suppose. Cross then took on Desmond Troy. After standing around for a bit, Cross pretty much hit a Doomsday Saito and then the Cross Jacket for the win in just a matter of moments. 6.25 out of 10. Thought maybe they'd do a bit more storyline, except for Karrion Kross just challenging Damian Priest for a match at New Year's Evil, which was then announced Dexter Lumis was the host of. But still, I suppose this is just building to him v Balor at the next takeover, and we'll see how that goes. But anyway, it was main event time. Rhea Ripley versus Toni Storm. Storm, oddly enough, tried to send Ripley down with a shoulder tackle, and it didn't work, of course. A pair of short arm clotheslines, then rocked Storm. Before we got into a back and forth match, Ripley rocked Storm with another drop kick, but she still couldn't stop Toni time, allowing Storm to get on top. Storm, however, missed a running hip attack. Ripley got on top. However, with the ref distracted, Raquel Gonzalez came out of nowhere, launched Ripley headfirst into the ring post, and Storm took advantage, hitting Storm 0 for a huge win. I'm going to give this 6.75 out of 10. Really good match, and a big win for Toni as well. This week, NXT gets a 6.75 out of 10 from me. I thought it was a really good show this week, in bits. Two of the matches were excellent. I think the main event and O'Reilly v Dunne was just superb. Maybe the opener as well I quite liked. Except for that, it was a pretty average episode of NXT if we're being honest. Now, you may have noticed I gave 6.75 to both shows. However, I am going to give the win this week to AEW Dynamite. That's just because they put on a more consistent show throughout. NXT's grade was bumped up by 2 or 3 matches, whereas AEW was consistently pretty good in my opinion. So that's really what gets the win for them this week. But anyway guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Remember, follow me on Twitter in the description below. Remember to follow my other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace!